Gee, I'm a guy.
I think that's an interesting thing because it's probably because we have so much information available to us that we're almost always expected to know everything all the time. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh, you didn't know about that thing. Where I think in the past it was like, hey, did you know about versus why don't you know about that?
Yeah. There was I was listening to, what was I listening to yesterday? Probably a podcast. And the person that was being interviewed, it was about money.
Mhm.
And they were talking about Chat GPT. And they were like, you've read the manual to Chat GPT. And it was like, what? There's a manual out? Like how to use chat.
That's interesting.
And there's only like a percentage. There's only like a dumb percentage, like 3 or 4% of people in the world that have like read it.
Actually read it.
Matt,
Actually
did you read it? I mean,
I did not read it.
I didn't read
now
it.
that I
I
know
read the
that it
manual.
exists, I might read it just because I think that's interesting. But again, how would you know?
How would you know?
And then who wrote the
Who
chat?
wrote? Yeah, I mean,
Chat
Chat
GPT wrote it.
right? Its
Chat,
own
can you write me?
manual.
Can you write your own
GPT
manual?
wrote it. Yeah, Grok wrote it.
How should you? And then wouldn't that be the worst person, like worst thing to let guide you through how to use the thing that is? I mean, I say super dangerous. Like
It's
I
very
use,
dangerous.
I think that it's funny. You were listening to a podcast about money, and I think ChatGPT is a lot like money, in that it only makes you louder, right? So the more you have, it's not like you become less dramified if you get money. You just feed into drama even more. Or
Yeah.
if you have a little bit of money and you're a giver, and you get more money, you're a bigger giver.
Mhm.
And so I think of like how I interact with my chat GPT, and my chat GPT is so encouraging. Like you can't get a negative thing from my chat unless you ask it do something mean, you know what I mean? Because it's just it thinks of itself, because I've taught it to, as like something that is light, something
Yeah.
that brings forth the good in people, right? And then I see the article like that your wife sent us, where
Oh,
literally
yeah.
a kid commits suicide,
It
and
reaffirmed.
part of the reason why is because his chat reaffirmed, like, oh, I know you failed the
The
first time
idea.
at suicide. Don't worry, you'll get it right next time. Here's how to tie the knot. You know, like it's only giving you what you want,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not helping you be something different. It's just guiding you to what you want to be. And if that's evil, it guides you to evil.
guides you
If
to
that's
evil.
light, because it doesn't think, it doesn't have a purpose. Its purpose is just to make you feel good, whichever way you're going.
Which is why I think everyone should read the user manual now.
Right? Like, and I think, I mean, if you're going to let something give you guidance, I think you're right.
You
Like,
need to know the
you
context.
need to know the context. Like, I'm not pick. Like, I think of things like, I mean, I can say for sure, when it comes to healthy things in general, right? The walk that you and Jasmine have been through, like you know so many things about how food works, and the way the breakdown of it, and what to eat and not to eat, and what allergies are like, and what it could potentially do to skin, and things that you didn't go out and decide you're going to be a skin food expert, right? Like you you had to learn for the safety of your family how food works, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think well we didn't set out to be on like an education, but it's really interesting because we never even we weren't, I mean, we weren't like super unhealthy, but we also weren't like very in tune with like different foods and different things that are healthier options, right? And we always wanted them, but we never had a reason to actually
Mm,
be forced into it, right?
sure,
Like, and
sure.
now, and we do now, and so it kind of makes us like put all of the food decisions out there, and it always makes us like pose the question of like, is this good for me, and is this gonna harm me, right? Like in any sort of way. And even Lux, like he makes that decision for himself now almost. He obviously knows to like look to us for like, hey, can I have this? but he'll do it on his own. Like if he even thinks that he's not supposed to have something, he is just like, no. Yeah, he can't have that.
The dudes at my house the other day, right? And they're all playing like cooking,
Yeah.
right? And like everybody's making their own thing. And it's like, hey, Lux, what are you making? He's like, broccoli. The other kids are like, Gushers, Pop Tarts. He's like, I'm making broccoli.
Food.
Because
It's food.
That's food.
It's
to him.
actually food.
Yes.
Gushers are not food.
Yeah.
Those are engineered.
Yeah. And that's what the thing is like. And he's like a little ripped up kid because all he can eat is good things for the human body.
He's dense.
Yes.
He's very dense.
Yes.
Like if you pick him up, he is just like one. He is like one big like little just sack of like muscle.
For
Like I don't
sure.
think he has
For
an ounce
sure.
of fat on his body. But that's like he's grown up. For one, when he started to eat, when he could eat, he was like we pureed like pretty much a lot of different things for him, and he loved avocado. He loved carrot, squash, like all of the things you're supposed to like start out. You're supposed to start out because if you like introduce to them like the sweeter things and like all the other like even temperature, right? Food temperature, like we never microwave food, we never heat up food like most of the time when they're that age because you don't know like your food should be hot or like warm until like you're exposed to it, right? Like and so Lux would eat like cold, like noodles or like cold, squash or like cold anything that he would touch because you just don't know at that age. And so if you never are exposed to like all the sugars that like really aren't good for us and all the other things that are in the normal diet, like what kids typically get introduced to early just out of convenience or just out of whatever it is for you, right? Like he is the exact opposite. Like we were like, you can't have that stuff. And so all of like superfoods and like all the things that is like really good for you is pretty much, and thankfully, right, like by the grace of God, he loves the things. Like he loves
yeah.
he loves jasmine, like fresh jasmine rice, like loves rice, loves chicken, like loves, he loves that kind of stuff. And like my other, like London, she'll be like, ugh. Like she likes rice and she likes like stuff like that, but trying to get her to eat broccoli is just like any other kid trying to get a kid, any other kid to eat.
Because she can pick up a cookie.
Because
right?
she can pick
she
up a
knows
cookie.
what that
She can pick
tastes
up
like.
a gusher. Like
It's almost like if you've never driven a Ferrari, right? Like Honda Accord is an amazing car,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is like the Ferrari, probably too much gas, too much power, dangerous, so expensive. Like the Honda Accord's good for you.
But the Ferrari is so cool.
It is so cool.
Cookies are
So
Ferraris.
cool.
You heard this here,
Cookies are
guys.
Ferraris. That's
Yeah.
right.
Cookies
so,
are Ferraris.
So real quick, because we've just been talking now, right? And nobody knows who you are. So I'm Matt Kavanaugh, y'all. And if you're on here and you've not heard me before, I'm sorry. This is the first time you're hearing me. I had some braces added, and I didn't realize I'm gonna get this thing at the top of my mouth. And so when I first got it, I was learning how to talk like, and it's better, y'all. It's better, but
He's
I'm
better
still,
this way.
I'm still learning, and so I'm supposed to slow down my speech and enunciate. And we had already planned before this thing happened for G and I to get together. So G,
I
who
was
are
like,
you?
hey man, do you want to reschedule? Like,
But I'm gonna have
for
this
your sake,
for
my
4
sake,
months.
maybe
For
Andrew's
4
sake.
months. Yeah, yeah,
It is what it is.
yeah,
Reschedule for 4 months out. So I'm G.
yeah.
I am a realtor here at Vista Realty, a client of the Kavanaugh Crew, a believer in Jesus Christ.
Let's go.
Jesus is King. What else you want to know?
Yeah, you are probably one of the most devout dads I know. Like for real. Like I'm not just saying that. Like the things. Well, first of all, like his family dynamic is kind of gross. I say that in the most loving way. His wife is beautiful. He's beautiful. Their children are beautiful. And they literally do magazine photo shoots together in like Austin and all, like it's ridiculous. This little it's like Polaroid built their family. You know what I mean? And it's a diverse, cool little family. You know what I mean? Like just, but you take care of your kids in like such a close up personal way. You know what I mean? Like because your wife is a professor, she has to teach school and do
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
you're a dad entrepreneur
Yeah.
who helps with the family a lot.
Yeah, the dadpreneur. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, it's been really a blessing, like how it's all, you know, kind of come together in this sense. Like she's a professor, but her schedule is like nowhere near the schedule like it could be, right? Like
Sure.
she is not pulled on, like she got off tenure track, like she literally doesn't go, you know, she'll go to the university to teach office hours, like that sort of thing, but in general, like it's a very very easy, it's like not a part-time job, but as far as when she has to be there, I guess that's maybe what I should say is the time she is required to be on site is like not a lot, and so she's able to come back home and try to do work and do other things to prep for classes, but she's at least able to kind of be around, and we're able to kind of like do life together still as well. And then what I do also is like the time I have to be on site is limited sometimes too, and so we're able to both kind of be present. And that was kind of what we both really wanted to do before we started out, like getting into the careers that we like kind of wanted to get into. Was we're both wanting to kind of be present with our kids, just like with each other, most like first and foremost too, like present with each other, and then bringing our kids along too, and then be able to like do life with the kids too, like
Yeah.
especially in the young ages, like when you just don't get this time back, no matter like how crazy it is, or like how, you know, how many sleepless nights, or like
Right.
you know, like all of those things. So yeah, I think both of our careers that we've like gotten into so far, because I'm, you know, we're not done. Who knows? We could be like doing something totally different in the next 5 years. But
Sure. Sure.
what we've decided to do right now in this moment definitely kind of fosters the being present, you know,
Sure.
um, value, and being able to spend that with our kids is pretty cool.
For sure. For sure. And by the way, Andrew's here too. Say what's up, Andrew.
What up, Drew?
What's up?
What up? If y'all don't know Andrew, Cav Crew, the motivator, which it's you have to make sure you say that in the right places because sometimes they think that means like bodyguard, like he's gonna make you do something, but
He's strong.
He's
I've
strong.
seen him.
Yeah, he'll just encourage you.
Yeah.
And Andrew's an amazing dad too. And so it's funny. I didn't think we'd be talking about dad stuff so much, but
Dude,
like
yeah.
the way that Andrew has his kids like involved in each other's life and taking care of each other, and 3 kids.
Yeah.
3 kids.
He's about to
baby
have
on the-
kids.
almost 3 kids.
almost
three.
3 kids. Yeah,
Soon to
Almost
be.
yeah,
three.
soon to be. Yeah, and so I mean, it's funny. Like I don't know why this just came up, like the Charlie Kirk thing, right?
Yeah.
Like talking about, I can't think of being like, even as a young person, it never occurred to me not to get married and have kids. I knew when I was really young, like really, really young, I wasn't gonna have any kids. I wasn't getting married. I was gonna go into the military, but even that, I was gonna adopt a kid. Like I always knew I'd be a dad. I just didn't know about the,
Naturally.
all the kids, like 6 of them, right? So and then the grandbabies, you think, like,
We could tell you how that happens.
all those
Matt.
things, right?
Yeah. If you
yeah.
haven't
But-
figured it out by now, buddy.
But it like in any relationship, I don't think I ever went into one like, oh, this will be fun. I'm out, right? Like
Yeah.
it just didn't occur to me that that's how that even worked. And so hearing that Charlie Kirk had talked a lot about family units, and then hearing the individuals coming out saying like, you know what, because of Charlie, I thought of marriage instead of just doing my thing. And then I met my wife at one of these groups, and then now we have kids, or Charlie getting married and having kids. Is like that whole dad thing really is, I will say, the thing that helped solidify me as a person, right? Because I don't know who I would be just by myself, right? I don't know who y'all would be
Yeah.
without your kids and wife, especially this group here. I don't know what we would do without our wives, right?
Oh man.
But it's just like that idea of a unit, like working together like that and counting on each other. And I count it a huge blessing to be around so many good dads who their foundation is Christ. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I think about what each of us have been through, very different stories, right? But in all of them, without Jesus, I would definitely look. I said it pretty good. Without
You did say
Jesus,
it good that time.
I would
Wow.
I wouldn't be where I am, and the joy of my life and the things I get to see. And like you said, we don't know where we'll be 5 years from now. Even me, like no, right? Where, but I know who I'll be with. Jesus
Yeah.
and my wife.
Yeah, regardless.
Like those things are this priority that because of that I can't be shaken.
Yeah. Responsibilities shift. Everything changes. I mean, for one, I mean, when you have Jesus, right? Like everything changes in general. Your priorities change. But even more so when you have family, when you have kids and wife and more responsibility like that. And that happened early for me. And so I don't know when it was very early for you too. But
And Matt, when you became a dad or a
17.
well,
husband?
Matt became a dad pretty
17.
early. Let me backpedal real quick.
Looks like only when I first started trying, but anyway.
When Jesus came into your
When
life.
Jesus-
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
When Jesus entered the room.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it happens like that. I mean, pretty early on.
And it
Had
makes
to
you
backpedal.
it,
You
but
trying early.
it makes you have to mature quickly,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Absolutely.
and I think of like almost the kid aspect forces you to change the way you think, but then it's easy to let them grow up just a little bit and then go back off track. And maybe that's why I see people who have kids at first. I mean, when you have your first kid, normally it's like, oh my God, they're so beautiful, the kid, my spouse, and this is so great. And then like that distance tries to crack, right? And I know so many times like Alicia will say something that I don't agree with for sure, or we're in some kind of little spat, and it's like my job is to love her, and I know for sure before Jesus, I never got in a fight with a girl and thought my job is to love her. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
like,
yeah.
that girl doesn't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
right.
Like literally, my ex-wife and I used to sing the song Givorce. That's what's gonna happen to you and me.
God.
We would sing that to each other
Yeah.
whenever we get in a little spouse, because like you're worthless. No, you're worthless. Whatever. We're gonna divorce.
Yeah, yeah.
Like literally, that was what was going on.
Life and death in the tongue.
In the tongue.
Yeesh.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And it life and death. It's powerful. Like we're talking about
yeah.
marriage and like big
Words.
things, but this weekend we're at the ranch and Abraham's riding around on his motorcycle. Man, that kid, he goes everywhere. He's got crazy balance. He's wild. And Griffin like making fun of him, like, "Ooh, you're gonna hit a bump and fly off that motorcycle." And we were just like, because he's always just so mean to Abraham, and we try to talk to him about it, but I think of him like the Home Alone Biff guy or whatever, like the older brother,
Yeah.
and he just smiles, and I realize that's part of that dynamic, right? Older brother stuff. But he said it 3 different times.
Ooh.
Abraham flew off the motorcycle,
Yeah.
hit a bump, hit the thing, hit a bump, hit the thing, and flew up and landed on the motorcycle.
Oh.
So his shoulder is still all bruised up, but that kid's a gymnast and packed with muscle and we've taught him how to professionally fall for most of his life, right? And so
And he lands back on
he
the
lands
bike.
perfectly fine, right? So no, don't get me wrong. Bike's one way, he's another. He's on the ground crying.
Oh,
but
not like that
he
kind of-
wasn't bleeding. He wasn't broken. He just had some scrapes on the shoulder. But it's like we brought Griffin over away from everybody, and we're like, has he ever launched off of a motorcycle before? And he's like, no. Like, you think you're just playing with your words and you're just being mean. Like, that happened. And I'm not telling you it's your fault. I'm saying, why let that even be in existence? That
Yeah.
you called it out
Yeah.
3 times, and somebody who's never even fallen off a motorcycle, much
Yeah.
less exactly what you said. You're gonna hit a bump and fly up in the air, and that's exactly what happened to him. And so, Givorce, right?
Words.
You're gonna do like
Yeah.
words, especially in your family and in your marriage, are so important.
Yep.
I believe that.
Yeah.
That's good
for
stuff.
sure. Yeah. Words.
That's like you just had a message there. It's like, I can end on that. That's good.
And on that note, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why we're here today, like this is, just friends talking, right? That's
Yeah.
really what it is. But also, like we're talking a little bit about business, right?
Mhm.
And so the question is, there's a lot of good lenders out there.
I knew
right?
there was a question.
There's a lot of good things that you can be a part of and take part in, and options out there. And so while I think that the Kavanaugh crew we're good at what we do and we really care about people, but why do you use the Kavanaugh crew?
Well, how much time do you have? Just kidding. Let me get comfortable, okay?
Yeah.
Where's the chair?
Where's the massage chair?
Where's
right?
the chair? Man, do I have to pick like one reason why? Like, man,
If somebody asked you like why would I use them? Why would I use the Kavanaugh crew?
Or yeah, or like wherever you were gonna go with it, right? Like not necessarily to a client, right? But that it could be that. But take it where you want to go with it. Like who are you? How does it line up? Like wherever you want to go. Like it's an open invitation to answer.
Well, among like a lot of different reasons why there's a lot, right? Picking just one. But have you ever like ridden in like a really nice Cadillac?
I have. I used to have one.
Yeah, I used to have one, right? Yeah, really nice Cadillac. Okay. Now, have you ever, and you like gone somewhere like really far, like real good journey, long, you're just like real smooth ride, just like awesome. You're like driving out wherever, Big Bend, like, Oklahoma, whatever.
Let's go.
Road trip.
I'm flying.
And then have you ever taken like not so nice of a car, right? Like, a truck, like, maybe even your truck, like bouncy,
Yeah,
like
it's a little
so used to be
bouncy.
bouncy.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever taken even a trip like to Austin in that truck versus the Cadillac?
That's funny. It's a good analogy.
You might get like to the same place, maybe. Like, I don't know. Sometimes, things happen on the road, vehicle, whatever, right? But you might get to the same place, but it's not going to be the same ride. Like, it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be like you want to go further because that was so great. Like, I would say it's like riding a Cadillac versus like, I don't know. I'm trying to
A ranch truck.
A ranch truck
with no shocks.
truck.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's
Like,
basically what
You just
that
haul
is.
things with it.
Or a BMX bike, like no gears,
a BMX
no
bike,
shocks.
no shocks, no nothing, just ride.
and you got to pedal the whole time. Or
Yeah,
nothing
you
anywhere.
gotta pedal. Yeah, that's a great, that's a great pedal bike. Yeah, that's
good.
one reason. Like, you're gonna get there eventually, maybe, right? Or you could ride in a Cadillac and have like a smooth experience and get where you're going quickly and enjoy the ride. There may be bumps along the way, but like the shocks and like the suspension on that ride is like geared to making sure your ride is super smooth, right? So even though it doesn't hit the same, we've had obstacles and deals before, right, come up, and whereas like they would have really derailed the train, right? Like they have been able to navigate those and like take the pivot and adjust as like a good business and a good lender should, right? Like find ways to pivot and find ways that will work and talk to people who can do things instead of just taking like the front answer of no, but really getting to the understanding and really figuring it out how to like make the communication clear to be like, no, this is actually what's going on. And then be like, oh, yeah. And not just taking no as like, well, there's maybe some miscommunication here, right? So whereas most lenders maybe would just like be like, okay, hey, your client's denied, like, or we can't do the loan. Like the Kavanaughs, they will really dive in and figure out like why it's a no and really figure out, right? And so whereas maybe, a lot of lenders might, it really might be a shaky ride all the way to, Oklahoma or Austin, right? Like the Kavanaugh crew is like on the way, smooth sailing, like even if things maybe don't like seem smooth on their side, like your clients are getting the smooth ride of being in a Cadillac, right, versus a ranch truck all the way to, like 400 miles down the road. That's one reason I would say why anyone should use them. But another reason why I use them is because our values align. Our faith, our spiritual values, our work ethic value, like all of those factors align. Not to mention like, of course, all the professional reasons why, but our faith aligns, like all of the values that you guys hold at the Kavanaugh Crew are also in align with what I believe.
Amen.
And so because of that, I know that at the end of the day, like, y'all are going to go the extra mile. You're going to work hard, very hard, to get things done and to make sure everyone has the best experience. Case in point, we came up on a situation the last client we closed, right? Like, it was a rush. They came in to my listing, needed like a quick close, right? And these people are not cash buy, like, my clients, my sellers were not cash buyers, right? Like, they were fully financed, like FHA deal, right? And we went through 2 houses before we found the house that we were supposed to get. And we had 3 weeks to do it. So you're talking about, we wasted time at 2 different houses under contract, inspections, all the things, like, all the time, all the negotiation on 2 houses within a 3-week period. And then we finally went to the house that we were supposed to get. And y'all had 8 business days maybe to close, to get this deal, get the contract, and close the deal. FHA loan. And we were able to do it all, like, in that time frame. So, like, whereas that probably would not have worked for just, like, the normal mortgage broker.
8 days was too much time for us.
It was. We were waiting around on day, a couple days before closing. Like, no. It was, like, down to the wire, right? And there were maybe things that could have maybe pushed the process, right, to appraisal, like, things like that. But none of it happened, like, and it was smooth. And I know, like, Alicia's in the background, like, speaking over the deal, typing on her keyboard, talking on her phone,
man, doing it all,
and Matt's talking to whoever, on the phone, with
helping them understand why they should say yes.
Helping them understand why they need to say yes.
I know the answer is no, but here's
if you haven't noticed yet, Matt has a gift for communication and, like, laying things out, laying pathways out for people to walk down, and
and I really
articulating.
And I enjoy that so much, like, going to back to, like, more the faith side of it. Like, I don't think anybody finds anyway, I don't think anybody finds Christ and then and immediately changes everything about who they were. Like, I think what they do is they find him, and hopefully they find acceptance in who they were, and then they want to shred that, like, change it all, and, like, some of it has to fade away, right?
That's a great point.
But some of it, like, I think of Robert Ruiz, like, that dude is an evangelist, but let him tell you his story. But he had a very different story where he evangelized for something else.
Yeah.
And now he evangelizes for Jesus. And it's like, I was really good at words before Jesus, and that didn't die. I didn't have to become somebody.
Yeah.
Like, he uses who I was to help people understand who they can be.
Yeah.
And I love that about, I don't have to lose. I die to self, but the things, the gifts and the fruits that my spirit has always had, I just use them for the wrong reason. Now they're pointed in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that. I love that aspect of come and see first, accept it, right? And once you accept it, see how bright your light can shine when you die to what you want and you have what he wants in mind, and now everything you ever thought you wanted actually is real in yours,
I had never, like, connected the dots to the phrase, and I might say it wrong, like, what the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good, right?
Make for good.
Like what you just said, like, the gifts I had, and we talked about it on another video, like, I had the gift of persuasion, and I can make people, do kind of what I wanted them to do, but now that gift or whatever it was, which you didn't use for God, for the kingdom, for Jesus, to enhance and enrich give God the glory. Now you can, and now you do. And I mean, all of us, right? Like,
for sure.
I think of things that I've done and gifts that I have, and the gift of love and joy, but now it's all for him, which is cool.
Which is cool. It's like, you don't just accept Jesus. You don't just get saved and then, like, you're this brand new, like, you're not Matt anymore. You know, like you're this
Yeah.
other version of Matt. It's like, yeah, eventually, right? Like that's what God's wanting to get you to and move you to, right? Like he wants to develop your character and your integrity and all the things about Matt. But like that takes work too, like on your part. Like you have to be a willing and able vessel to like be moldable and vulnerable and get real with the things about the old Matt that aren't right. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And like all the things, all the like weights that you hold as Matt, right? Like that doesn't go away. That you all of a sudden have an outlet to make change happen, like real change
Yes,
happen.
yes.
It don't go away. Like you're still the same broken person you were. Now you just have Jesus. Like you have an outlet to fix it all.
Yeah.
Like you have somebody that you can give all of those things to and put that on. Whereas before you were Matt carrying all of those things, the addictions, all of the, you know, all of the weight of all the sin of
Absolutely.
everything that
Yeah.
you hold, like you carry that. Now you have someone you can put that on and say like, hey, I'm not perfect, make me new. Like this is come into my life, like fix
Yeah,
me, change
yeah.
me, make me new. You have someone now, and so like it's just like an NFL player getting traded to a different team, right? Like same talent,
Yeah.
different coaches,
Right.
better performance, maybe like, or you know what I mean? Like
The
you're
quarterback
still,
actually, when you run, the ball comes to you. It's weird instead
Yeah.
of like, yeah. I love that. I
you're
love that.
still you still have the same talent. You're just you have a different perspective maybe now to where you're like you understand now, like, and maybe you're playing for the right like team, maybe or
And now I believe in
right
the team.
coach. You believe in the
Right.
team.
When
like,
you're on the
all of
wrong
things.
team, right?
Yeah.
Griffin will go out sometimes and he'll throw the ball to himself.
Yeah.
Like, because he just loves football that much. Like, we'll take him to the field. I'm like, who you meeting? He's like, no, I'm just going by myself. And like, and he's learning fundamentals. And I think time alone is really good. He loves football that much, but it's nowhere near as impactful as even two or three
Even
or a
two,
full
yeah.
team
Yeah.
around you, right? Like, that's what it's like. It's like I was by myself, and I didn't think I was an evil person,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I just was alone, even with kids, even with a wife. Like, it was still me encountering the world. And once the thing of dying to self is, I'm not alone, even when I'm by myself for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Like, there's always someone with me. That's why I can, like Andrew's been talking about his time that he's been taking walks and doing stuff, and I'll do the same thing too. Like, I'll be completely alone in my garage, and I'll lay down, and I've done this so many times since I found Christ, where we've been through things, right? And I'll just lay down and be like, all of it. I'll do it all again for you. Whatever you need, whatever you want. And like I'll tear up. Like it's because I'm in this garage, not by myself, talking to not just me.
Yeah.
It's like there's a real presence with me that unless you're willing to come experience that, like it will just be a book with words in it.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be a theology you're trying to understand or teach or compare to science, and like there's nothing that will ever be as real as when you're completely, there's no one around you and you're speaking to something that moves you more than sex, more than marriage, more than like all the
Money,
things, like
all the things.
more money. Like there's nothing realer than your spirit connecting to Jesus one on one when you're by yourself. But it's like now I get to take that us encounter and I want to teach my kids about that in my family and the people around me and the people I get to work with and hang out with. Like it's such a beautiful thing. And like, why do I think people need Jesus? It's the most selfish, unselfish thing ever. Like because I want you to love you. It's so cool liking who I am.
Yeah.
Because I used to hate who I was when I was by myself.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't think I was evil, I did not like me at all. You know? And like and then now that you receive that love from Jesus and it really does change you, then you want to give that to other people. And giving is better than receiving for sure. But it's really fun to give.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's really, really fun to give. And for sure, I think that as my next steps, I think that God's calling me to do is to not get caught up in where I am as if it's like some kind of place that other people can't achieve. And I don't mean like money or anything like that. I mean like spiritually, I've noticed recently, like I'll be in the truck and I listen to just regular music all the time. That's what I used to do. And I like mix in Christian music, and then I just don't really like normal music anymore. Like I do, I like to turn it on sometimes, but I like uplifting, fun
Yeah,
music, right?
yeah.
And so that's what I have on. And then recently I've just had the Bible on, and I'm like just interested in, like, I know I've seen and read and watched the stuff in Acts before, but I'm like, oh, I didn't realize he talked all about Moses and retold the Moses story to like it's so like the things that are happening, the conversation is going on with this man Jesus who's in the car with me, and it's like, but I don't want that for the person who's thinking, who is Jesus? Who
Yeah.
is because it's like I've been almost working out for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to be the gym that only allows buff people in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's one of those things. Like I think that so often we take like the gains that we have, and then we put that expectation of our gains on Christians or even curious Christians. Like, what is it like? And to keep yourself. That's what I think he means by humble.
Yeah.
It's like, don't be so high. Don't be so I forget. I don't even like to say the word, but like don't be so high on yourself that you start looking down on the children, right? The ones who
Yeah.
still need nursing and
The
not
ones
be.
that still need it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of like who are Jesus's friends, right? Like,
yeah,
you know, he yeah. It's very much like this saying, like, Jesus loves you enough to not leave you the way you are.
yeah.
Like,
That's good.
and that's so true, like, for the unbeliever, right? Like, so that'd be like saying the unbeliever needs to come and like get clean. I don't know how you get clean without Jesus, but like,
Right,
how
right.
do you come to the table? You come to the table like as you are. You're just willing to come to the table.
Mm.
Like, you're willing to come to the table, and Jesus can work with that. Like, you know, it's like the car analogy. It's like, how do you steer a car that's not moving? Like, it's very hard. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you steer a car that's moving in one direction, and if it's moving in the right direction, and you can steer it. Like,
Yeah.
You know?
I love that. And it's neat that it's just one move in the right direction. It doesn't have to be
No.
you're heading south and you need to flip the car north, right? The interesting thing is like one little degree at a time, right? That's that I don't want to say requirement, but requirement is like will you just do things a little bit different until suddenly you wind up in a place where you're like, I don't know how to exist without the relationship that I have now of what love really, really is. And I'll say that that's for me, like I I don't know if I did it wrong. I don't really understand, but it was just like I didn't have the influences in my life to ever point me to anything but Jesus.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and because I find his story so authentic and amazing and there's nothing clouding it, and there's no, like, can you imagine if Jesus only wanted to hang out with people like Jesus? Like they like like if you're trying
I
to
don't know
be
if anything changes. Like, nothing changes.
nothing
Nothing
would have happened.
changes.
He would have been by himself the whole time. No
Yeah.
one wrote anything, and he dies of old age, right? But the thing is like that's the purpose of learning and him giving you revelation knowledge is so like him you can sit with anyone at any time, and he never let them overcome who he was, but he was willing to meet them where they were.
Right.
You know?
Not judge them.
So
Yeah.
how can I be more like that? Like, first of all, I'm not going into a crack house. And not that I don't believe they need to be saved. Like I don't have the capacity.
Unless you're going to get someone, you know.
Right.
Like,
Well,
if you're going to rescue someone
if I had to
out,
go
like-
get someone, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna walk into a crack house randomly and try to evangelize a
no,
crack house
no.
because first I don't know the first thing about crack.
You don't
Right?
know.
I don't know if they're using it or not using it. I don't know what it looks like. Like I'm saying, like I have like to go in. Like I think what isn't Ed Milet that says that you're most equipped to help the person you once were.
That's right.
Like I don't have the equipment to go do that. And I also don't think I have the equipment to stand on a street corner in Louisiana. Like I see street corner preachers making people mad, and I guess some people they save. I don't really get that world, but he has built me to be somebody who's one-on-one relationships, understanding where they're coming from, like this love that I can't describe in my flesh what the love is, but I know my spirit connects with people, and like I will encounter somebody and in a split second I know and I love them like immediately. And so and I love to be like Andrew gets to sit. Sometimes they're a little bit long winded, but he gets to sit in some of the conversations, and people like they've just been they're having a hard day or a hard week or something bad's happened, and they're like they'll literally call you, hey, can I get some time with Matt? and we'll have to meet up and we talk, and then later on they like text me or something. Thank you so much for that, and it's never me. Like I'm just I sit down and I don't ever have an agenda. Like today, you were like, "What kind of questions do you have?" And I'm not built that way.
It was
like,
a joke.
Yeah, I know.
It was a joke.
But most people, I know anytime somebody's invited me on a podcast, they always send me 2 or 3 questions. They always help me to make sure I know what I'm going to say or what they're going to talk about. And I don't know. It's just like this flow thing.
We should always preface any recording like, there's a 99% chance we're going to talk about Jesus.
99% chance. I mean, that's fine with me. I like what you said earlier. You were talking about how it's different, right? And I think that's kind of one of the things is like when you bring Jesus into the scene, like things hit different. Like the music you were talking about, it's different. Like the people you're with, the things you were doing, all of it hits different, right? Like your soul, your spirit is changed, right? Like it's not the same as what it was. Like drinking and whatever is not the same. Like, you know, whatever you're entangled in, right? It's not the same when you got Jesus in this situation. And it's so cool, right? Like to know, and you're like, well, I don't know if I'm saved. Well, I'm like, I don't know. Like, do you have a conviction maybe like in your spirit about whatever it is? Like, I think that's kind of what makes the difference sometimes is like the conviction of it. Like you are convicted, like the music you listen to, for instance, right? Like I know for me, like in my life, when I really made the decision to become more like serious about my relationship with Christ, like it was a very simple switch because I grew up listening and just in like loved rap, like I love rap, hip hop, like all the things, like right, Lil Wayne, like Drake, like all
they're awesome, yeah,
they're a great guy, whatever, right? Like great rap artists, secular rap artists, right? But you know, when I really like made that switch, there was a time where that was one of the things like I needed to lay down because it was just feeding like my soul the wrong things.
Yes, yeah.
And so like, and maybe I always had the conviction about it, you know, prior, but unless you do something about it, you're just in that same spot. Like you're not any different. And so like, I kind of like, all right, Lord, like I'll lay that down. Like, and so did, and either found like whatever else to listen to, anything uplifting, right? Like whether it was Christian music or whether it was just a like Christian podcast, like whatever, like just something other than like what I was feeding on in my time.
Sure.
And it makes a world's like difference. I'll tell you, like what you feed your ears, what you let in your ears is so important because like the things that I was entangled in and the things just in general, right? Like all of, you just don't know. Like it's so powerful, the things like what you let in your eyes, what you let in your ears, like all of the things, like it really matters. And like, I guess maybe like where I'm at now is an interesting place because I mean, I've been challenged to not be a part of the even the conversations like that may be funny, but not right. Challenging those people in a way that's like, hey, like that's or just like not listening or like walk away or like to that degree of like, hey, I'm not gonna feed on that.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting whenever you get on that journey of like, okay, like really saying yes like to the Lord and letting him tell you what you need to lay down and like sacrifice like what you listen to, what you drink, right? Like where you're talking about laying down alcohol, like whatever, being in a season where we're like, I really don't think I need to drink anymore right now. Like, you know, or like music or, you know, anything, like anything. I think that's one thing too, is like when you say yes to Jesus, like you have a responsibility. Like, you know, you just opened up your whole life to like, I say yes, and saying yes to Jesus means dying to your flesh, like laying your flesh on the altar of like what you want in order to like trade it for what he wants for you. And then so like
that's such a good point. And I think it's Forrest Frank's grandpa, right? Is giving the testimony about how somebody messed with his Bible.
Yeah.
And so on one of Forrest Frank's albums, it's got like listen to all of them, and through all of them, because they're all good. Then you'll find this thing, and he's saying that he was taking his kids to church just because he wanted them to know like values.
Yeah.
And that was the best place to take your kids. But he wanted to play golf. Like he wasn't really there for him. He already learned values, right? And so he was like basically said, "Hey, what about you?" And he's like, "Whatever." And he got all mad. He's like, "I'm gonna prove this guy wrong." So he starts reading the Bible to prove the pastor wrong. And so he's getting this brain knowledge of what the Bible says, right? And then something happened, and he's driving along, and he's like, "All right, fine. Tell you what, Lord, I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but I give you my heart. Show me what you got. You know, okay, I believe in you." Whatever he said, listen to the thing. And he said nothing happened. Nothing. And then that night after work and everything settled, he opens the Bible, and like suddenly like somebody messed with his Bible. Like as he read it, like he understood what it said, and the feelings flooded in. And, like he was suddenly different because until he accepted Jesus into his heart, the responsibility of Jesus, even with the word in his hand, wasn't the same. And now the conviction to do and be different, and through that love that Jesus showed him, that's why Forrest Frank exists, right? In the capacity that he does. Like, it's so crazy. Like, somebody set out. Like, think about this. If you think that you're in a wrong place with God, somebody who set out to disprove that God even exists is the reason why Forrest Frank is on stages in front of thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
You're never too far from the next step to Jesus and watching things, not only in your life, but think about the legacy, the trickle effect of what you can do if you make that decision, flip the switch, you know?
Yeah. So true. I just think of Peter Parker.
Responsibility.
Great power.
Comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
It's a great place to leave the podcast.
Good stuff.
Good stuff, yeah, guys.
Well, my final thought on like what G was talking about, like, and it's very simple, and this is minimizing it, but like we talked about, you're saved, you're born again, now you're like a representation of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I think of like when you get hired on this job and you really want to work at XYZ company, hey, your actions reflect the company, right? So like our actions as followers, as Christians, like, you got to think about that. It's not even this is the best company. that's the company that I want to work at.
Hey, you'll be eternally hired. Right?
Exactly.
If you want job security, that's the thing to be on. Yeah.
So be that good representation, which I believe that you guys are. We all are.
You are, yeah.
You are.
And just
Amen.
Encourage others out there.
Amen. And this is a mortgage podcast.
This is a mortgage podcast.
Yeah.
So you need a mortgage.
If you want to know anything else about real estate, let us know. We're here to help.
Always here to help.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Peace out.
Peace.